We're recording.
Whoa. Welcome back to Two Blank Girls. This is episode 9.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Annitsa.
Welcome
back.
I just ate a banana cookie and I feel good.
I'm surprised you only had one. I mean, I told you they're bad this time, though.
No, they're amazing. But I am on a personal journey of trying to simmer down. I went to Zoo Plantation again for the second time in like a week.
What
Literally
the fuck, dude? I'm so
died.
jealous.
I died.
You didn't literally die.
Almost.
You figuratively died.
Almost. Like, I have never felt worse. So I'm going through some personal things as far as like my health, figuring things out, things that I know and I'm trying to make changes. So I only had one banana cookie this morning. Success. Which leads right into our episode.
Okay, continue.
So, what day is it? It's August 1st, guys.
Yeah.
On the morning of August 1st, we are two successful girls. All right.
Ooh.
Guys, before we start, and you know the deal, we'll go through the spiel
super quick.
Instagram,
Two Blank Girls Podcast.
Two Blank Girls Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We have Facebook, we have Twitter, and then our website, twoblankgirls.com.
And always, if you're feeling generous, or if you just feel like you want to be a VIP and more connected to the community of Two Blank Girls, go to our Patreon and search for Two Blank Girls.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's just more of a way to support and just to let us keep going, because that's sometimes all we got.
No,
okay?
This is very true. Very true.
So
like we always say, even $1 helps. And guys, you can get a fucking rad t-shirt too.
Yeah.
Just direct message us on any of those platforms and we'll get you set up.
All right. Successful.
I cannot believe when you said you wanted to do this, I was like, I feel absolutely zero success.
No, and it felt like a good time because we are both at a place, a very weird place.
Crossroads.
Yeah, we're at a crossroads, if you will.
Well, do you have the def? Do you want me to say the definition?
You should definitely do the definition.
Successful means resulting in a favorable or desired outcome, also attaining wealth, favor, or eminence. So
that last part,
definitely not.
Kind of is on the back end of the
it's
definition
more,
for me.
For us, the desired outcome is, and in general, that's just it's a kinder version of success because I think society generally sees it as the other one, which is money and fame and fortune and whatever.
That's where we tend to fall off the wagon. We're not so much great at, but then that's why I wanted to do this word, because I think you and I have to exercise more about what that word means to us. We definitely try, but there are days
we go to therapy to go with that
and I have therapy today. I'm so fucking excited because I have like a list of shit I need to talk about.
Oh God, I know. Well, I canceled my last therapy session when I had a lot to talk about because I woke up and I was like, I can't do this. Yeah, I can't do this today, and I skipped it. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be 3 weeks behind next time I go.
It's tough. Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast today where it was this, which is a podcast I want to talk about on this podcast, which I think we've talked about before, because as far as success goes, it helps like kind of. Anyways, this woman was talking about therapy and how it was the best investment she's ever made in her life to becoming where she's at and the success she's had in her life. And she was talking about how, like, yes, it's very expensive. And she was like talking about how you should just strive to go 2 times a week. And I was like, I can barely make it the 1 time. So
I go once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm going to it is expensive. So I'm going to just feel okay with where I'm at and just work with what I got. But I just feel like this is something I wanted to do this word because it just felt like so many people struggle with success. Some people do really well at it, and we tend to look at those people and it sucks.
Well, comparison is like the devil. But also I think it has a lot to do with rejigging like what the definition of that word is for each individual.
It's so
because
different.
I think because it should be more of the first one, like favorable, desired outcome.
Yeah.
Do you hear
that bitch in the background?
It wouldn't be an episode of this podcast if you can't hear a cat meowing incessantly.
She's going to town.
Busy. Sorry. But I think, I think that's a healthy way to look at it too, is like, okay, what does that mean? You can be successful if you work at McDonald's. Like if you feel like that, if you're for me, I think it should be happiness essentially, is like,
totally.
Like what's your benchmark? What is the thing that makes you feel successful? So I think it can be different for everybody.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel like for the longest time ours has been based on like not even, it's you and I don't even like want to be rich. We just want to like not struggle so fucking hard all the time and live paycheck to paycheck. But it just, this day and age, it's really hard not to look at successful people and their financial success and want that.
Their lifestyle, being able to, for so long, I mean, I look at people who can travel anytime they want.
Oh, yeah.
Who can...
Dude, people who can just like go to Target and be like, you know what, I'm going to put this in my cart, and I'll put that in my cart and that. And you know what, this outfit's really cute. I'm just going to get it. And don't, like you and I talk about all the time where we're like, oh my God, the day we can go to Target and just put everything we want in our cart and not like freak the fuck out. That's success, I feel like, for us, which is silly, but
no. And you know what? Hello. I mean, yes, there are smaller versions of success, and then there's that success as well. That's not, you can't deny that is being successful. Is also like being financially stable. That is successful. Jesus Christ. If I like right now, I feel zero, like other than like, we need to look at the accomplishments we've done with the stuff that we have
you and
done.
I do that so little. And I feel like we have to constantly come back and remind each other and ourselves, like, we have done shit. Could we do more? Always.
Yes.
Like, that's not the question, but like, what have we done, and can we look at it and be like, oh shit, we actually did do something? And we constantly need people to remind us that we've done shit, and that's the only way we can like hear it, which is terrible.
Well, like, and that's something that I talk about in therapy all the time, which is so funny because there's this mentality of all or nothing, and or you see the failures rather than the successes.
Totally.
Because
and all this shit that I've been listening to recently to try to like work on this, my like what success means to me is I literally just lost my train of thought.
It's so
like
quick.
That's one of the fastest it's ever happened.
You were talking with a fever pitch and the look in your eyes, and you were like, I literally
went, oh fuck, what did Annitsa just say? What were you just talking about? It went out that quick. Oh my God. That's a record on the show.
Something's happening.
Oh man.
Something's happening. You're saying you're listening all the things you're listening to try to, you've been listening to.
Yeah, but what was the point before that? Because I was segueing into the point of what I've been listening to.
If they're in therapy and being like, focus on your successes rather than your failures.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're back. We're slowly, okay. Failures. Oh, a lot of stuff I've been listening to is about how we should be looking at failures as like succeeding,
as a lesson,
like, because you're actually doing something. Therefore, you fail. Therefore, you are trying, and that is successful.
It's absolutely true. Oh man,
that was a doozy.
That was something to see your face. Like
you saw it.
It was like ding,
it went out of my fucking head. Like it was his job to just leave. Oh. I think, y'all, it was the banana cookie, the sugar. I'm on like a high.
Blame it on my damn cookies.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. But yeah, no, I feel like so this podcast that I love, and I've talked about it on the show, it's Tim Ferriss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's got so many good episodes. Like, I was listening to a dude who created Homebase, which I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I was like, I'm just gonna listen and hear what this dude, he's a really successful person, and he literally, hearing him talk, one thing I found so interesting as far as his success, he's like, he never makes goals. And I think that's something I need to practice, and I think I could be good at. It that would help me.
I mean, that's me. I don't make goals.
I don't need to make goals, because every time I have shit I want to do and I don't reach it, I then like it sets me back like another, and then I'm never moving forward with my career, with my personal, like anything. Like I always have these like grand goals, and then when you don't meet them, you get fucked, and then you just go like backwards and you hate yourself. And so that's one thing he said on this podcast. I was listening, I was like, shit. And the other thing he said about his success and how he's been able to move forward is he doesn't care what anybody says. And I'm like, that sounds so great.
I think
it sounds wonderful.
I feel like a huge thing about success, the people who do succeed, is that you cannot be afraid of the failure. You cannot. Yeah. You have to take it and use it and be like, yes, awesome.
Which is, don't you think that's our problem? Is fear
of failure?
Yeah, we don't ever start things because we're like, we have all these ideas and we have all these like plans, and then we never get around to them. And I think, at least for me, I don't know, I feel like for you too, is we're just so, especially me, we are so hardcore about like it being so good.
We want it to be perfect. We want it to be so good because
come out the gate.
We've talked about this so many times, is that there's all this pressure on us, especially because we're female. We felt this because we've seen so many of our male counterparts out here just succeeding, meaning they're getting to make their movies. They're on, TV, they're in movies, they're writing scripts, they're, that are sold, things like that. Like for us, those would previously be like the benchmarks of succeeding, like actually selling a script, having something tangible, other than just like, hey, we did it. We wrote something. It's there, which we have done. Yeah. We have written things, but they have not gone anywhere. Yeah. But it's like, but the idea, we've seen it so many times. And for us, and we've talked about this before on the show, where we always just get, oh, that's cute. You guys are cute. And it's like, great. No, we feel tremendous pressure. At least we put it on ourselves to be better than cute. To be better than that, to be so fucking good that people can't ignore us, and we just haven't gotten to that. We haven't felt that moment of like, this is so brilliant that we have to put this out there.
Yeah, and the thing is too, is we shouldn't have. But then the other side of it is we should. There goes my phone. Hope all of you guys watching enjoyed that. Sorry, y'all.
It's not even on anymore, is it? Oh yeah, it's still recording.
It's still recording. That's gonna be fun for them.
It's mid podcast. This is the fallback of like trying to give the patrons a bonus of like.
Anyways, I'm losing it. Where was I going? What was I saying?
Like I fucking know.
Oh, we shouldn't like Who cares what those dudes are doing? Great. I'm happy for them. That's their journey. Yeah. We just have to focus.
We always do that.
On ourselves.
We always do it.
On our work. And then just like, I think the key to us ever having success is to, number one, doing it ourselves. Just making our own things.
Yes. Which we've known from the beginning.
Taking it easy on ourselves. Don't set any goals or any don't have no path. Like literally just taking it what we can do that day, make something happen, and then just keep moving forward. Well, and with that, with hard work, with perseverance and passion, because nobody has more passion than you and I. At least we think so. Like we
want it. We want it. We love it.
Yeah.
So much. And by it, I mean...
Yeah, I know. I'm like, people are probably like,
what do you guys want to do? What are you trying to do? No, we want to make movies. We want to make TV. We want to make this podcast. We just want to be creating. And like
tell stories.
We want to tell fucking stories, and that's it.
And so, I feel like, but what is keeping us from being successful?
Yeah.
We have to like really deep down, cut through the bullshit. Yeah. And so I feel like everybody, this is the one word I feel like right now everyone can relate to, because I also know very successful people who are miserable. So it's like, and this woman on the podcast today too was talking about she doesn't believe in work-life balance. She's like, you should be doing work that you love so that it's your life, and that like you're not having to be like, oh, I got to put in so many hours today and I got to like, yeah, that'd be fucking great. But we also have to pay bills, and we have to like be realistic sometimes. So yes, you and I having no work-life balance would be, and being successful would be, going every day and telling stories. And that's our like, and laughing goal. And like creating and
so
getting
that it
people
doesn't
involved.
Feel like work. It just feels like it's what we love to do. Because whenever we've been like shooting, when we shot Bush League, our comedy series, like those were the best times. Yeah. Because we were making it ourselves, and it felt successful in those moments. And I think that's the thing, is like concentrating on, you know, like you said, no goals necessarily in the sense that like we need to reach this many viewers or this many listeners or this, that. It's not about that. It's
and we
about
worry about
just
that with this podcast.
It. Yeah, it's
like
hard.
We struggle. We're like, oh, we only have so many listeners this week, or like we only have so many patrons, or we only have so many followers.
Yeah,
and it's so dumb. And you and I have to work on that. And I hope that people everywhere like just know that it's not. Hopefully, it's not. Because I guess you and I always equate success with our careers.
Yeah.
Because someone's success could be like fucking vacuuming their apartment that day, or just
it's true. Or like my brother today, he got out of the hospital and he went and got a vegan donut. Like that was his success today.
And he's successful in the sense that like he's still living and thriving and working towards you know having a better life. So success looks different for everybody.
But but it's so, the thing about this though is that there is so much societal pressure. That's the thing that makes it hard. That the reason we look at followers on Instagram and it is because everyone looks at that. It's because people look at us and go, oh, they only have 200 followers. They're not legit.
Totally.
They're not big. They're not successful. Like, and that's even in, you know, into getting jobs anymore. Like as an actor or as anything, if I want to do freelance social media marketing or whatever, people look at me, myself, and go, oh, you don't have a Facebook, you're nobody. Oh, you don't, you only have so many followers. And that's, people pay to get followers. They pay companies to just like, oh, hey, you know, do your bot bullshit and like.
Yeah, did you see, we got a comment on one of our two like girls
posts.
I don't even know what it fucking meant.
Like it was not even in English.
No, it was not English, and it was like computer jargon.
Like 2
it was like
followers, us.
Yeah, and so
Toronto.
Like, it's so stupid and like so.
But that is true. But that is the thing. That the problem is that people, unless, you know, so many times we've put something out and we're like, how do you get a fucking viral video?
Yeah.
How do you get more people to see it? We've struggled with this so much because we are just so happy to make something in the moment, and that's great. But then we get so bummed out and so sad when like 30 people see it. Yeah. And it's like, but like we're so, the thing about us though too is that we have the most beautiful, loyal followers, and we do. Totally. The people who listen to us, the people who've watched Bush League, are so amazing. Yeah. And we're so thankful, but we're always like, our thing about success too is like, why aren't they sharing? Why aren't people? Yeah. You know, word of mouth? Like, how have we not gotten bigger?
And that is only because I feel like we look at other people. Mm-hmm. If we would just let, and this is for everybody, I feel like if everybody just let it go and just, if we can just make stuff and create things and that's what the guy said today. He's like, I just make things that I like.
Well, which is always what we do.
Like, we just make things that we like and we think are funny and that we want to talk about. And then the rest, it's out of our hands and all we can do. And so maybe success for us when we're like 90 is looking back and being like, oh man, we made a podcast. We had a web series. We had like a friendship. I don't know, like friendship. We had family.
Had a friendship that was for the ages.
And so like that's, you know, everybody has to look at success in their own way. And I hope that everybody looks at success in their own lives as a sense of like feeling fulfilled, because that is what I am working on. Absolutely. I cannot let this like idea that I have to be somewhere at like, and the age thing, which is
that's
like
crazy.
Fucking insane, which is I have a really interesting article I want to oh Christ, how's that for your, sorry, I'm looking at a picture of my crotch that got taken earlier. Cool. Well, so because you and I always talk about like I had this big thing. It was so stupid. I look back now, I was like, if I don't make it by the time I'm 25 in this industry, I'm out. Yeah. And now I'm 30 and I'm still here struggling. But it's like, what else am I going to fucking do? This is what I love. So you just keep going and you just keep making.
Yeah. I think the thing is just like, because when you're struggling, it's hard to feel successful at the same time, because as you get older, you realize that time is finite and you're like, okay, like I want to, everyone wants to reach some level of like,
I can't be like 70 and fucking like trying to make, still trying to make a podcast. Yeah, like I just can't.
Well, Alan Alda has a podcast and he's like 83.
Fucking killing it.
Yeah, and his is like successful.
And this is why I'm bringing this. Business Insider has an article about 24 people who became highly successful after age 40. And this is only
we always have to keep looking at these.
Look at this. And I'm not like, again,
You're
this
comparing.
is not putting the comparing and the, but just as a sense of like reminding myself, I'm not going to compare but it's inspiration. Like, I have like Pamela Adlon is like my fucking hero. And while she's been working since she was young, she didn't really like hit it until she was in her 40s, because it took all those years of learning and failing and making things and creating and just making what she loves. And then, yes, hopefully one day
people catch on. But
so again, I know
you have to put in the work. Number one, that's the thing I know more than anything is like, yeah, sure, there are overnight successes. There are people who just get fucking lucky and they're like 15 years old and they're a fucking YouTube star, which is super awkward.
God, don't even get me started on this like YouTube shit.
I'm sorry, you guys. We're gonna throw some shade, and I know it's probably petty, but like, and those Instagram people too that are
they're like celebrities now, and they're getting like.
I mean, props. Live your life,
and we live
do
in
what
a
you gotta
different
do.
age, and
But I fucking can't stand that YouTube star bullshit.
Yeah.
Some people are legit, man. Some people have great content.
Some people are amazing.
Have great
the majority
vlogs.
Is like videos on like your cheating boyfriend. Anyway,
this is why we get upset too, is because we look at the people who are successful in our monetarily or famous.
Yeah.
And we go, if this is what it takes to do it, we're never going to be that. Yeah. Because we don't do that. We don't believe in that.
Which is why we just
How do people follow that?
I know.
How do people like that? If that's what they like, we're never going to be successful. That's what we always think.
Which is why all we can do is make what we like and just pray that even if there's 5 people out there who find it funny.
Hey, that's awesome.
It's all we can do.
Well, we just want to, but the problem is we want to make a fucking living doing it.
Yeah.
That to me, that's like the benchmark of like success for us. Well, tell me about this.
Okay. Stan Lee has made his first hit comic shy of his 39th birthday. And then he didn't actually really start getting success till he was success. People like, like this one really fucking killed me. Again, it's not about money, but if it was, Sam Walton, he had like a successful like retail management career, it says, in his 20s and 30s, but like normal success across the board, like a blue collar kind of thing. And then when he was 44, he founded Walmart.
Oh, Jesus.
And now he's like, I think the richest man.
Yeah, and you know what? He could be paying his employees more. We can talk about.
Yeah, we could. So maybe he wasn't the best example, but again, like guy.
But he did. Well, and
Rodney
I saw
Dangerfield,
Vera Wang on there.
Vera Wang. She was in her 40s when she started her line. Rodney Dangerfield, he didn't become successful till he was 46.
Some of our favorite actors. Older, like what's his face? John Hamm.
Yeah,
he was older when his career.
He was
took
a
off.
teacher for his like whole thing, and then now and he's successful because he's making the shit that he wants to make, and he has that luxury. Julia Child didn't get her first cookbook till she was 50. And she loved it, and she left her like government like job because she loved to cook and just so it's about, and this is where like the work-life balance thing,
but she also had the luxury of not working at that
point.
I'm like, fuck,
must be nice, Julia.
Well, we can make excuses all we want. We can say, oh, these people had this, these people had that, but then there are majorly successful people who started with nothing, worked their asses off. Honestly, I think you have to put in the work. We're saying there's overnight successes or whatever, but you
all the people that I feel like we admire are the ones who worked, and that's because we're not trying to become YouTube stars, overnight sensations. We're not trying to be viral. We're not trying to, and just in life in general, I just want to.
I like to work hard.
Oh yeah,
I like to feel like I accomplished something during the day.
Totally, and
put
be
in
busy
that work.
and like be putting something out that people love. So it's not, I just like to look at those people as like showing me that like it can happen, because sometimes it doesn't feel like it's ever because success is ever going to happen for me.
But especially right now, I feel like I put in the work. We have been putting in the work, but it just feels elusive. It feels impossible sometimes. It feels like, you know, I'm sitting there, you know, I'm writing my blog, I'm looking for jobs, I'm working so hard every day just to try to have a better life for myself, to be able to provide for myself, and it seems impossible. It seems like no one is reading what I write. No one wants to hire me. No one. So it's like, Jesus Christ, it is hard when there is some sort of there has to be a give back, and so in order to find success, I feel like you
just have to
let go,
persevere,
a little bit.
It's
like
it's
put in the work.
Yeah, put in the work and let it go, because that's all you can do. Sitting there worrying whether what's gonna come back or.
But what do you do when it doesn't? That's the question too.
Yeah.
Is what do you do when you aren't successful?
Yeah.
What do you do when the thing you try so hard at never happens?
Well, I feel like I think just based on my experience, and I'm sure it's different for everybody, but like my idea of success was coming up through like a big film like HBO and FX, because I wanted to work in TV. So I was, and you know this story, I was going on so many interviews. I interviewed at like the biggest fucking places, and I never got one. And it was all just like bullshit. Like they just hired within, or like, you know, or they never got back. Like it was, and I just kept going and going because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So I feel like sometimes you have to take, if something isn't working, you have to try for like, you know, for a certain amount of time, I think. But if something isn't working, maybe pivot. It doesn't mean you have to get off the path, but just maybe take a slight right and you can get back, which is what I did by going to strike. I went on this job popped up. It was so not what I wanted to do, but I saw an opportunity where I could somewhat tweak things and make it my own.
But
so
also,
I pivoted.
It was because it had to do with something else you loved.
Yeah.
Like you were obsessed with these girls
and their
they made
like
you happy.
beauty, and it was more about doing something, you know,
being a part of something exciting.
So then I pivoted and I made some changes, and then that led to now
do your photography.
Probably the most, if we're gonna look at success in this like something you actually see in like my bank account, maybe
money.
Yes, this is probably the most successful I've been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is just pushing me to go further and further. So I feel like if it's not coming, it's okay. Keep working. And then when you see the opportunity to see some change, maybe try something else.
Yeah.
Like it's all about succeeding and failing, mostly failing, lots of failing. I did so much failing. And then it'll, you know, and I'm still not there. I am in no means what success means to me. And again, like I can't it's different for everybody, because a fucking farmer is going to be different his success than my success. But
dude,
for me,
I look at that kind of stuff and that feels more tangible, because what the success we want feels magical, mystical.
Yeah.
Because when I was literally thinking yesterday, like if I could just do a job that was working with my hands, building something, like working on a farm, or you know, creating furniture, or something that was like I worked hard every day with my hands, built something, grew something, made something.
Yeah.
I would feel like, holy shit, I'm accomplished.
Even like
I did
artists
it,
who
I did it.
paint and like sculptors, like at least they fucking have something they can like physically. I mean, yes,
it just feels like it feels real. It feels like you have more control over things. With what we do, it's more like it just feels like there's no one way to get there. You can put in the work and then nothing can happen. And so it's really it's really hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting because you had your like crazy journey for your career like last year and the year before.
Yep.
And now I feel like I'm on that path where, you know, I'm starting over because, you know, I had to for my sanity.
We both for our fucking sanity had to cut out the disease and make the decision,
which was our jobs that did not make us happy.
That did not make us. Oh my God. Like, and I was there for 5 years, like, and I finally cut it, and you finally cut it, and now it's about starting over,
which is extremely scary, which is extremely difficult.
But it takes courage. Oh my God. I should just write a book about what I'm about to say. No, it takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to move forward. And that's it. 'Cause courage, I'm actually stealing these things from all these people from these podcasts, so none of this is like coming out of my own mouth.
We need to be shouting out these podcasts.
It's Tim Ferriss. Listen to any fucking episode, and this is what it's all about. These different, very like people's different success stories and how they got there, and they're all so different. But like,
she's losing it again. I think she's listening to the fridge like humming in the background.
Yeah, maybe. I think my ADD is kicking in. I'm like hearing things. No, but I just think she was saying that more so than confident, because confidence is great to have a little bit of it.
But it can be false too.
But it can be also
it's not backing
over
up
the
anything.
top. Yeah, very like forced, and it's probably means you're compensating for something when you're overly confident. And we know a lot of overly confident people.
A lot of
and then we're like, why don't we have that?
Overly confident?
But I think but she's saying it's more about having courage than confidence. And so it takes courage to leave your steady paying job where you know you get to try to work towards something else. Because success, we are defining our success now by doing every day what we love. So
yeah.
It doesn't mean making a ton of money. It would be nice to have some money, but we just want to wake up every day and look forward to something. That is what I have now deemed that my success.
You've redefined your success.
Success for me is waking up, and that's not going to be every day. I'm not going to be successful. I cannot say successful.
Should have picked a different word.
It's just waking up every day and feeling excited about something,
and you know what, like you said,
every day's not
every
gonna be
day.
like that.
No,
fuck,
but
I am like the most depressed person.
Striving for that and realizing that you aren't gonna be that every day because you're a human being.
Yeah.
And then you try the next day and you try the next day, but I think God, it's just it's so hard to keep that in mind. It's so hard to keep doing that. But honestly, I've never been unemployed in my life. So I'm struggling with the idea that like getting up and being like, okay, I have nowhere to go to make constant money is terrifying. And because guys, we're not telling all of you to just get up and quit your jobs. Like you have to be responsible, like especially those of you that have kids and that have, major bills and this and that, like you have to be responsible. But if you also have to be happy. So you have to find, there will come a breaking point if you're having issues, and it's going to happen, and you have to be brave. But so I've been super like Debbie Downer the past couple days. One, probably because my period. Two, because I'm still coping with stuff from, going home and with my brother's illness and this and that. And three, because I'm scared. But at the same time, I have these moments where I go, holy shit, now's the time that we make something.
Yeah.
Because sure, I'm not making any money. I have nothing to do. Let's fucking make a movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. Like, this is the time to do it. It's like, other than, because I feel guilty when I'm not constantly looking for a job, when I'm not constantly putting out content but I even wrote a blog post about this the other day. You have to cut yourself some slack.
Yeah.
And my slack, we got to make something.
Yeah.
We got to make something.
I know.
Because I'm like, fuck it. We just do it. And I know this weekend.
Well,
we're
that's
writing,
what happened. Well, that's what happened to me when I quit my full-time job. Like, and here's like another really, because there was an opportunity at my old job where I could have stepped up and maybe taken this really huge role.
Mm-hmm.
And I said no.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's also kind of happening right now where I'm at, and I'm gonna say no again because and Cole has a hard time, and I totally get it. Cole has a hard time understanding, like, why would you turn down like this opportunity and this comfortable job where you make money and you're gonna make money, and every time I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot. Again, like, success your dream me means doing what I love every day, or finding something to do that's part of what I love every day. And so to me, settling for money just does not fucking work for me. So I was like, no, I wouldn't do it. And so, I feel like you and I just have to work on what success means. It's a daily grind. It's a daily fucking thing where we just got to keep working at what our success is going to look like for us.
Well, do you think, okay, I wrote a note about this too, about doing one thing at a time or multitasking. Do you have an issue with that? Because that's my thing is what we've kind of noticed is that the people who are so one-track minded and who push so hard for this one thing are the ones who make it, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like, and so, and when we have so many different things like in the air, like what we like to do, and we're trying to do all this stuff at once, and it just becomes like, oh, we haven't really done anything very well because
that's why I love multitasking. I think I'm pretty good at it, but I have decided I'm working on this thing in my head where I'm taking it one at a time. I even bought, here's an example. I bought all these paint supplies because I want to paint. I know you paint. I've always been like, God, that's something I really want to do. Like, I bought all the stuff and it sat in my chair for a week. Yeah. And I went, nope, I don't mentally have the time to do that and put effort and thought and to really go for it. So I'm going to put it away. I'm going to take it back, get my money back, and just be okay with the fact that I don't have that. My priorities are different. I got to put like taking it one at a time is something I think you and I should do. We should. It's about taking one thing and working at it really good and finishing it, and then maybe that will make us feel successful in the sense that we
accomplished something,
and we made something.
Because that's honestly my thing is that I sit there and I do work on my computer, but then halfway through I think of something for the podcast and I'm like, oh shoot, and then I branch off and I start, writing a post or looking something up or whatever. And it's like, my mind, I'm constantly multitasking. And I think that it's so bad for me. Yeah. Because it's the same. And I think it's the same thing. It's just about being happy too. Like happiness is focusing on the present. Yeah. And I think that is the big thing with multitasking is that you're not really present for anything. You're just kind of floating. Totally. And you're thinking about the next thing or about the next thing or about the other thing rather than just being there,
honing in,
doing the one
thing and taking it a day at a time, not looking into the future so much, and then you won't get fucking let down. Yep. I feel like before we go, I wanted to give you 10 morning habits successful people swear by.
I love a list. I love advice. Yeah. Let's hear it. So this is going to give us some.
Again, we have to take this with a grain of salt because success means different. Blah blah. You guys get it. Get up an hour early. Quite difficult for me, seeing as I already wake up so fucking early to commute to LA, but this is something you could do probably get up but you probably get up early anyways.
Dude, I have weird sleep habits, but continue. Yeah. No, so I get this because it's time for yourself.
Because like on my days off, I get up in the morning, I make my tea, I do my like little routine. So maybe it's like an hour, just getting up early. Yeah. Visualize. Number 2. You and I can do that all fucking day. I'm the biggest daydreamer. I can talk about it all day. I can visualize. So I've already
accomplished success.
That. Eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm. I do it.
I do it too. Yeah, I can't not. I have to start with tea and then I'll go into like a meal. But yes, breakfast is good. Say bye-bye to that one big task. And I'll just read. It says reprioritize your to-do list, placing the most dreaded task at the top of your list. Instead of letting it loom over you all day, save yourself the agony and stress and get it done first thing.
Get it done.
I like that. Motivational mantras. Step 1, dig deep and find out what inspires you. Step 2, create a mantra. Step 3, repeat the same saying to yourself every morning.
Yeah, there are people that have like, what is that whole like yogi thing where you have it's a mantra, but it's like a phrase that they say over and over. You have individual ones. I think that's kind of what this is, right?
Yeah, we should probably
My dad has like 20. He said it every day. He says 20 different phrases at the end of the night, like every day since he was in his 20s. I just found that out, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, we need to come up with a mantra, and we need to say it to ourselves.
We should find just like what that encapsulates our like. Okay, we're
journey.
Working on
our
that.
Our journey.
Homework. Get moving. I could definitely work on that one.
That couch just calls. The couch called. Get moving meaning like get out of the house, or
I think
go for a walk or
morning workouts, or just like even a morning walk.
See, I don't do morning. I do nighttime. Late.
Maybe just moving your body in general.
Yeah, I stretch though. I do stretch in the morning.
I see. I should probably.
That's always a good thing to do.
Pack snacks. Eating fuels your brain. I snack a lot. I could definitely work on the types of
healthier.
Snacks. Like I'm eyeing those cheese balls right now. I could probably, but I did bring a suja juice, and I have hard-boiled eggs.
Hey, so there you
protein,
go. There you
go. Toss it. Oh, you're good at that. Decluttering. Woo!
I have a pile. Right now. I have a giant pile of things that I am selling or that we donated. Guys, like literally every day, and I'm not joking. That is literally every day. I look around my apartment. I'm like, what can I get rid of?
Yeah, it's saying even something like junk mail. Just going and getting rid of your junk mail so that
I don't have any
of
that shit
around.
Around.
Clears your mind.
It's driving me crazy that I have this stuff sitting here because I'm trying to sell it rather than just give it away this time. And so I'm just like, I hate seeing it in my apartment.
It's tough, but at least you're doing it. Go to bed early.
Nope.
Again,
I'm terrible
at that.
I'm terrible.
I go to bed at like 9 p.m. if I can. Yeah. So just work on it. We're working on it. And then silence. Waking up early offers you opportunities that few get to enjoy. Watch the sunrise, hear the sound of birds chirping, and just be still. We are always on the move. Sit and enjoy the morning calm. It's a brief time where you can be alone with your thoughts.
See, I like that at night. That's what I do at night.
That's why my commute doesn't hurt me all the time, because sometimes I don't put anything on in my car.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I just sit in the silence, and then I just go. So like I do try that. So as long as you and I. We'll work on these things.
Yeah.
We got to work. We have a lot of work to do. And all of you do too, hopefully. Let's just work together. Hold each other's hands. Work hard.
Just try. I think trying is just half the battle. Is just trying.
Well, if that's half the battle, then you and I are
halfway there.
On the field. Swords drawn. Oh, my lips are dry.
What the fuck are we talking about now?
Go be successful.
Even just having this talk this morning has made me feel good for the day.
Yeah. I'm ready to go conquer the world now a little bit. Yeah. My energy's up. Yeah. Just talking about it.
There are some things I don't want to do. Totally. And I just want to be like, no.
But I have therapy today. I'm going to go accomplish instead of saying I've got a list of things to do, I'm just going to go get one thing done today, and I'm going to kick ass. And then I'm going to just go.
Good.
So you guys, what are you doing today?
What are you doing today?
Other than listening to our fucking awesome podcast?
Yeah. That's a good way to start your morning too. They didn't put that on the list, but I'm gonna add it to the list.
Get your favorite podcast. And a shout out to Tim Ferriss and his podcast. If y'all don't know him, go check out his stuff. He's awesome.
Hey, and I'd like to shout out a new patron real quick. Fresh, brand new.
Fresh.
Terry
Hot
Dick.
Off the TD.
TD. She's coming at us. Thank you so much.
You're amazing. And thank you guys for listening. We love you.
Come on. Bye. Bye.